dragon. This started out as a knight orf, although there's absolutely no way to know that. Looking at this position, the reason black has a bishop on g7 is because in response to this very fashionable bishop d3 variation, which has always existed. This has always been a known line in the knight orf, but it was always considered to be a kind of a third-rate sideline. Recently, with some new ideas, it's become kind of a first-rate sideline. And Donchenko responded with the dragon setup g6. Jan plays this just like you do in a normal dragon, f3, bishop g7, bishop e3. So about a year ago, I played an over-the-board event, and I faced this line with the black pieces in the second round, and I actually played g6, so we had this position. I ended up winning the game, but I had a really bad position, and I didn't like what I got. So the following round, this is 2 rounds a day, right? Typical American tournament. Yeah. I have no time to prepare, and I'm paired against Andy Woodward, who incidentally was the runner-up in the Puzzle Battle Championship just a couple of days ago. And
Isn't he like 14 years old?
He is. He's almost a GM. Very, very talented. He's also a knight orf player. So I'm sitting at the board. I kind of blitzed out the open Sicilian. He plays a6. What do I play? And I'm like, wait a second. I have just the brightest idea. And I played bishop d3 with the white pieces in the next game. And it was the first time that I had played both sides of a position in consecutive rounds. And I managed to win that game as well. So I have good memories with both colors in this bishop d3 variation.
Okay. And like, well, interesting enough, how did you handle this position with the black side? I mean, did you just castle? Did you go develop the knight to c6 or knight goes to d7?
I'm definitely not proud of the way that I handled it. If memory serves me right, I started with knight c6. Now, what you often see is white's bishop retreating back to e2, so people shouldn't be too surprised if you see that, because the bishop in the dragon setup is quite misplaced on d3. And then I played the move h7, h5, which is not unheard of in the knight orf, nor in the dragon, just trying to prevent white from expanding on the king side and preventing this typical queen d2, bishop h6 idea. My opponent ended up castling king side and getting a nice positional advantage, so I still didn't like what I got. Something tells me that Donchenko is probably going to play this more conventionally and either castle or push b7, b5.
Yeah, and well, I also have a question about Donchenko. You know, he's on half point out of 3. In his game against Wijk, first round, he took a very sharp approach. In his game yesterday, we saw him play in a really positional way. He tried to keep everything solid and draw against Anish. I mean, which approach should he be taking? He's chosen a sharp position. Should he now kind of go to something solid, or should he just go, you know what, this is my moment in the spotlight, let's play as ambitiously and as aggressively as possible?
Yeah, I mean, he has essentially 2 openings as far as wants to see the handshake in Prague versus Ding, but let's just give this another minute.
Yeah. And Parham, well, he's trying one last attempt. One last stand. There we're waiting for Nepomniachtchi to take a decision.
Yes. Okay, let's go to... And I don't know what to do. I mean, it's impossible to say which game is going to end first. And Chad is going to be unhappy with us. Whichever game we flip onto, it's a why aren't you on the other game? Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, of course. But okay, I suspect that things will end on the way E against Parham.
Can we go there for a second? Wei versus Parham. Tale of opposite emotions. This is chess. And Nepo and Donchenko still at their boards, analyzing their fascinating draw.
And what a tussle it was between Nepomniachtchi and Donchenko, full of life and spirit, and you have to feel there for Parham Magsudlu. Today, he had a good chances against Wei, but the score does not reflect that. It's a cruel mistress. He's just on half point out of 4. But tomorrow, it will be a free day. He will have a time to reset, to recuperate, just to change things up a little bit. And there we see in the background, Parham get up and leave the playing hall.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. He just has not gotten lucky, and today was especially frustrating. He had Wei at some point what seemed to be on the ropes. It wasn't really on the ropes. All credit to Wei. He was ultra precise. He went for it, and then he capitalized when Parham started losing control of the game.